Ain't that right? Kitty comfort last all night. Kitty comfort feels so right.
Right.
I'ma be with Kitty tonight.
Ow. I said the kitty go meow tonight.
Meow, meow, meow.
And that meow feel right.
Meow, meow, meow,
I
meow,
like
meow.
meows alright.
Meows alright.
Oh.
Yeah, kitty music.
Kitty comfort.
Kitty comfort music.
You know, my favorite song, the first song I ever really liked by Drake was called Kitty Comfort, I'm not going to lie.
Kitty comfort.
It was the first song I liked by Drake. And that's what we're here to talk to you guys about today.
Yes,
On
sir.
episode 91 of Ruse Radio. Thanks for being here. So I think we should just jump right into it. So
All
what we
right.
wanted to do is we wanted to break it down in chronological order for everybody, okay? We wanted to give you the details. And Rocko here, like every time I try to talk to him about this topic, he seems to know just as much as all these hip-hop aficionado publishers out
Well
here, the
studied.
journalists that are deep inside of the details, the people who are tapped into the network. Rocko, tell them about your knowledge.
Well, they call me the active archive. You know, I am a walking encyclopedia when it comes to hip-hop history and, you know, current hip-hop happenings, including, obviously, the biggest beef of the last multiple decades of hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is all-time legendary. And so I'm just happy to be here, you know, with my friend, my guy Ruse, to break this down for you guys.
It will be a legendary episode, my friends.
Absolutely.
And like, okay, so where do we start? We kind of try to map it out. So what's bullet point number one?
All right, bullet point number one. Let's talk about the Weeknd.
The Weeknd. So Drake's feud with Kendrick right now, you would say, starts with the Weeknd.
Yes.
Please tell everyone how.
Well, folks, for those at home who don't know, Mr. Abel Tesfaye and Mr. Aubrey Graham, better known as The Weeknd and Drake respectively, both hail from hometown of Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
You know, Drake being the bigger artist earlier on, you know, made a very good name for himself in the city and around, you know, although getting in a little trouble, you know, little backstory, this will be important for later. During Drake's come up, he was robbed. You know, at gunpoint, you know, a real serious street situation where he was on a date with a girl, you know, rumors say it might have been New Ho King.
Okay.
You know, the infamous Chinese buffet Kendrick reference later on the line. So keep that in mind, folks. But yeah, he was held up at gunpoint and robbed in hometown of Toronto, Canada. How do you feel about Drake? Let's just stop here real quick and elaborate a little bit. How do you feel about Drake being in such a situation? You know, at, say, like 19, 20, 21 years old, around that time, and, you know, having to hold that on his vest.
Well, okay. So I think one thing that a lot of people don't think about in general when they talk about famous people or they talk about people who are successful is like you miss the fact that if it were you, it would be so hard to hold any of that weight. So for somebody who's been in that spotlight for so long, it's crazy he's even at where he's at now.
True.
But I think he handled it really well at that time. I mean, I think that he handled it as well as anybody could. I would argue he handled it as well as like somebody like Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
It's like Justin Bieber handled it in interesting ways moving forward after his fame as a child, but like Justin Bieber was even earlier than Drake, but still like I guess Justin Bieber's way earlier. I'm trying to think of like people who got famous around like 18. So how old was Drake when he really popped off? Like about 19?
Yeah.
See, that's crazy to think about because like when I was 18 or 19, I wasn't really making the music at all like the music I make now.
Yeah.
It's completely different. And Drake wasn't either.
Yeah.
So, and to just in the spotlight of hip hop, especially the way that Drake just skyrocketed, that's a whole different story than like what I know. And so I have to think about that. And I think everybody should think about that. And that's why I put it all that way. Is I think people miss that when they talk about people who have achieved fame at a young age. Is like you just don't understand what that could possibly be. Like, that's why famous people only talk about fame to other famous people. Because they're the only people that would get that. We wouldn't get it.
Nah.
We really wouldn't.
It would sound alien.
Yeah.
It would sound super alien.
We'd be thinking the whole time, but you're famous, though. How do you not? But you're famous. I want to be famous. Like, we would never get it.
Okay.
There are so many problems that are associated with being famous, for sure. And so, but at the same time, like, it is an opportunity. And so it's probably just a big conflict that these people have. And again, that's just something you'd never understand unless you had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, a man can dream. But back to it. That was a great answer, by the way. The Weeknd and Drake's feud all starts, early in those Toronto streets and studios, with them working together and Abel really needing to make a name for herself in the industry, being this underground, like, legend almost because, for those who might not know about the Weeknd's come up, he was a nameless, faceless artist who just uploaded singles to YouTube and built a name for herself out of this mysterious, dark R&B, drug-fueled, sex-infested, like, super gritty R&B.
What are the kids into these days? Man.
What?
Drug-fueled R&B music. I like my good old John
Wayne. 32 Shades of Green or whatever the fuck that shit's called.
Yeah, whatever. 39 colors on the rainbow. These kids these days. All right, so this is how the Weeknd pops off.
Yeah. So the Weeknd's needing help to pop off, and Drake's right here. His friend.
Okay.
So far, while Drake is making a big name for himself, he's everywhere he goes. He wears Toronto on his sleeve. So it's like that's one thing. A lot of people do give credit to Drake for, even amid this beef, is that he genuinely reaches out to artists below him and knows what his impact can do for somebody's career. Okay. So a lot of times he intentionally reaches out to people to make, a difference in their career. But yeah, back to the Weeknd. He uses this Drake meal ticket and sacrifices some of his music, precisely 5 songs, to Drake's Take Care project. Now, it is a 19-song track, so the impact of it isn't as great as most people would probably interpret. On first thought of that, you would think, dang, the Weeknd wrote his album for him. But truly, it was only 5 tracks out of 19. And honestly, a lot of that is just, interludes, party songs. I think you got one, like, serious song, though, the Weeknd worked on. Like, yeah, but most of it was kind of just like, a good filler, as we were discussing earlier.
Yeah. Explain to the folks what the good filler is.
So, me and my friends have a theory in music, shout out to YJM, that there are tracks on albums that are regarded as just, filler music, something to be put there for the fan that likes it, and for, those who don't, you can just easily skip over and get to, the other main courses, probably more well-produced, more well thought-out, more well-put-together tracks.
And now would be a good time for you to say, too, that, like, you're a Drake fan. Yeah. Like, you're not somebody who dislikes Drake's music. So when you say something like that, you're saying that as somebody who likes Drake.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
as somebody who's looking for reasons to dislike his music.
I am one of Drake's biggest fans. If you go back and listen to my music, I have been an OVO stan for life. But I'm a guy who calls it how it is. I pride myself on being a realist and not being the realist, but but I think I might be that too. But
but also
just being a realist, somebody who believes in realism.
Yeah. And so how did you feel when all this Drake and the Weeknd stuff was going down at that point in time? Like, when I'm sure you were keeping track of this.
Yeah, when I was younger and how I looked at it, I just seen it as like, okay, sometimes you want to collab with an artist and maybe it doesn't turn into an entire collab album.
Okay.
Maybe it just, especially if it's like a artist smaller than you. And mind you, I was keeping up with this while it was happening. So like, it wasn't like, okay, he's done this a bunch of times where like now you kind of got a track record of him doing it. So it's a little different now than it was back then. But back then it's like, yeah, maybe it just didn't end up flourishing into an entire collab album. Maybe this is just like, the best we gonna get is them working on all these songs together.
But The Weeknd didn't take it well though.
No, in the long run, after Drake offered to sign him, it became a lot of bad blood when The Weeknd, he knew his own value as an artist. You have to call it like it is. He's seen his own value and didn't want to work in the OVO sweatshop, which is very much a real thing.
Okay. And so
shout out to Roy Woods. I love Roy Woods.
Why do you say that?
He is probably the second hardest working guy in the OVO sweatshop.
Okay. And so there's a break with The Weeknd and Drake.
Yeah.
And so after this, we move on to Metro, right? Or is that not next?
Next, we take a brief stop.
Okay.
For Kendrick and Drake's past aggressions.
Okay.
So funny enough, around the same time that all this Weeknd stuff is happening, Drake is going on one of his first tours. And who does he opt to bring with him? Two of the people that he's currently entrenched in war with, A$AP Rocky and Kendrick Lamar, are his two headliners with him on his tour, his openers. And the relationship starts off very well. Kendrick is very grateful to Drake because, again, Drake has always been the kind of guy to reach down to artists. And he's seen a young Kendrick doing his thing and really reached out to him and wanted to shine a light on him. Funny enough, same album that The Weeknd worked on, Drake also, wow, this really has been brewing forever. Kendrick Lamar was also featured on his first collaboration with Drake, Buried Alive.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Buried Alive interlude. So, their relationship starts off great. We end up getting Poetic Justice after that. Absolute smash. It's so crazy to think how great of music they made together too.
Yeah.
It's so sad. Anyway, moving on. Kendrick end up, noticing. He became the nudicer.
Yeah.
And noticed some things.
Everybody remembers when Kendrick became a nudist. That was like the craziest part of the whole.
Just walking around town, jacking in San Diego or something.
Yeah.
No. He became, somebody who felt like he needed to distance himself from Aubrey because some things he noticed, as a noticer. He noticed some things that he wasn't really a fan of, be it, maybe just how Drake manipulates the industry behind the scenes, if that's, the case. But, that's a claim that Kendrick obviously made later down the line. Or it being the fact that, Kendrick just, like he said in the song, I just don't like you, man. Something about you just strikes me.
That was all so long ago, though.
Yeah.
Like, are you saying all this
time
was the source of that?
Yeah, because you have to think when they stopped talking from that point, and there was more in between. Obviously, that was just a brief stop. But if you want to get into all that, we can definitely get into that.
All right, let's move forward. So we got Metro now.
Okay, yes, we get to Metro, Big Boomin'. Metro Boomin', make it boom.
Metro Boomin', make it boom.
Make it boom. Anyway, Metro and Drake relationship goes back far as well, as Drake is a notable visitor of Atlanta.
Okay.
Very notable artistic visitor of Atlanta. Works with a lot of Atlanta artists. You can say his swag over the last 10 years has been very Atlanta-coded.
Yes. Call him a sub-Atlantean.
Yeah. He a substitute soul Atlantean.
Yeah. So he's been copping some swag from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting move.
Future, Migos.
And that was also what Kendrick said.
Yeah.
Okay.
He pointed that out.
Right.
But Metro Boomin, who is from St. Louis but represents Atlanta as a producer. That's where his sound predominantly dominates. That's a bar.
I'm a predominantly dominator.
Anyway, yeah. So with Metro's and Drake's relationship, it grew from "What a Time to Be Alive" collab album with Future and Drake's camp, and they all were just entrenched together. And from there, it just blossomed into constant collaborations. More than you could probably count. But eventually, things hit a hitch when Metro's album "Heroes and Villains" came out, and he removed one of Drake's verses on there.
And why did he do that?
Rumor has it was because of a woman. Drake possibly slept with Mr. Metro's woman, or a woman acquaintance of his, or another way it goes is Metro was sleeping with a woman, and says some unsavory things about Mr. Aubrey that eventually got back to Mr. Aubrey.
So no one knows if the woman was with Metro Boomin and then slept with Drake, or if it's like...
I believe the original story is that her and Metro slept together, and then she went and slept with one of Metro's friends or one of Drake's friends, or possibly Drake himself. Just an inside guy. She slept with another inside guy and she repeated what Metro was saying about Drake.
I see.
To this acquaintance.
Okay. And so that happens, and I was gonna say what you said, that it occurred to me, like, a lot of big wars start over women.
Is women or money?
Women and money.
Those are the two things men just spiral out about. You got to be careful with that.
Yeah. So it's a woman here.
I really be mindful about that. Like, seriously, I'm extremely mindful of that.
That's real.
I'll never let a woman get in between dealings that I have with another man.
Okay.
Those are things for me.
What if a man steals your woman?
That's on her. She's the problem.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
No, like,
she should have at least went to the gym, did a couple pull-ups. Like, she should have been able to get out of that situation. She could have went to martial arts class.
No, not even that. Like, why you entertaining another? What did you mean by steal?
I meant, like, she comes by and grabs her, bro.
Oh, no, wait, that's different. I gotta go save my bitch.
I guess you should have specified, right?
Yeah. I blew a nigga house up and kidnapped my bitch. That's not flying. I'm gonna throw a grenade in the nigga window.
All right, so Metro Boomin made it boom. Okay.
Yeah, I'll make Metro Boomin crib. Anyway,
if that happens, if it comes to that. Oh, we're all good. That's
boom.
Just the TV.
Perfect. Okay. Back. So we get to post "What a Time to Be Alive" and the trance verse that Metro removed. Drake begins to, poke at Metro on Twitter and on his gambling live streams, for all the non-believers, tweeting the leaders, we know who you are.
Drake hitting him with the mad tweets. Drake's upset with the tweets now. You don't want to get Drake upset with the tweets, though.
Mr. Anita Max win? Come on.
Okay, so I don't understand the whole, dissing on Twitter thing, though. That's a little weird.
Look, I mean, it's
talking your smack on Twitter.
It's the internet age. That's all it is.
I'm just not a Twitter person. Don't listen to me. Don't take me seriously. I don't even really use Twitter.
Well, you get it, though. It's just people just get on there to talk shit. They don't feel that way in real life.
Yeah. But, I mean, Drake, though, I can understand that he'd be sassy on Twitter. He'd be one of those guys who would tap right in.
When you as rich as Drake is, though, you can be serious on Twitter. Like, that could really be how you feel. It's just like, okay.
I like the way Kanye tweets.
Kanye is the truth.
Yeah.
He is the truth in Twitter form.
Yes. I mean, when he loses his Twitter, it's kind of sad just because you lose a lot of good stuff right there. A lot of good content.
Like, bro, the pissing on the Grammy.
Yeah.
The pissing on the Grammy was all time. I shit you not.
All time.
I want to piss on my Grammy. Wait, don't listen to that Grammy committee.
Let's move on that one.
I won't piss on my Grammy committee. But yeah.
Speaking of Grammys, we're getting towards a Grammy. Yep. We're getting towards one.
Yes, we are. Let's go towards her loss. The big.
Continue.
The big 21 Savage and Drake collaboration, led produced by none other than Drake's at the time rival, Metro Boomin.
Oh, yes.
So now
yes.
you have guys who are feuding, who are forced to work together because of the mutual respect of 21 Savage.
Now, how does Metro Boomin get finagled into having this happen?
21
Because,
Savage.
for people who haven't heard the song, so him in the song, he's basically saying, yo, I fucked your bitch.
Yeah.
To
More
Metro
M's.
Boomin on his beat.
On more M's, on more life.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, her loss, not more life.
On her loss,
Yeah.
Drake says on a beat that Metro Boomin made,
Wait, yeah.
hey, Metro Boomin, I fucked your bitch.
I fucked your bitch. I know you be hating.
So, like, how
And
does
your
that
album,
happen?
your album was whack.
And your album
Yeah.
was whack. Yeah. He said a little bit more. He also said your album whack. He said whack. What was the second one?
I fucked your
Fucked
bitch.
your bitch. Your album's whack. And hating. I heard hating.
Yeah, you be sneak this and on love.
Sneak this and sneak this. All three of those. So those are the three claims on a track that the guy made.
Yeah.
So how does that happen? How does he get finagled into? Like, how does the Metro Boomin? Did he's already selling the beat, or did Metro Boomin just already make a deal and he's like, "Oh, fuck you, Drake"? Like, okay,
His mutual,
like he already made the deal, so he has to release the song.
Pretty much, like his mutual respect for 21 Savage. Like 21 Savage gets a lot of respect. He gets a lot of respect. So just off the love, I believe Metro did it for 21.
I mean, all right, but just imagine somebody like straight up disses you, and then 21's like, "Oh, come on, though."
Like, this shit hard though, Metro. Come on, like, no, that is fucked up.
That's
like,
really what happened.
If that's how that went down, that's fucked up.
That's wild.
But I will say okay. So like, I think the way it went down was like, they already had some beats. Metro was like, yeah, you can use them. I don't really give a fuck. He ain't gonna.
That's what I would imagine.
He ain't gonna jump off the porch.
Yeah. Okay. So this happens, and so it's basically a straight up diss to Metro Boomin on record, on Metro Boomin's record. So what happens next? We got the Grammys.
Yes, we get to the infamous Metro Grammy tweet.
Okay.
Metro tweets out, man, niggas making weak ass dance music albums, half ass, and real music not winning. Real music not winning awards. My album should have won over that bullshit dance album that light-skinned nigga from Canada dropped. He ain't say all that, but
but that's what he meant.
In essence, that's what he said. Like he said them dance albums, like that half-ass dance album music shit niggas dropping ain't fucking with my shit. Okay. I should have been winning. And, Drake obviously took that very personally.
As one would.
Yeah, so like, this pretty much solidified their war with each other. Like, they were going back at each other very actively on Twitter.
Okay. That makes sense.
But right after this, Drake's next album drops. Okay. Which would be For All the Dogs, Fat D.
Fat D.
Yeah, Fat D.
Great name.
So, For All the Dogs drops.
Have you ever seen a Fat D in person?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Every day?
Me too.
Wild.
Anyway, continue.
So, Fat D drops, and
I drop a Fat D every day too.
Fat D drops colossally, and
okay.
There are tracks on there, alluding to things, making claims about a specific group of people within the industry.
Okay.
You may know this group. They're often regarded as the big three.
Okay.
So let's talk about first person shooter.
All right. So
the rumor has it, Kendrick. Okay, yeah. Let's get back to Kendrick. So let's give a quick rundown of the full timeline of the Drake and Kendrick beef.
We didn't get to We Don't Trust You?
Not yet.
Okay.
This all happens before.
I wasn't sure if first person shooter. I thought we were going to first person shooter. Are we going backwards?
No, first person shooter came first. The list is just.
Oh, okay. So we're going to first person shooter. Yeah. I thought we were okay. Sorry. So no, We Don't Trust You is the album.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm a silly goose.
No, it's fine. This is why I'm the reporter.
Yes. Yes. Rocko, give me the news. Okay. Lay it on me.
So, we start with For All the Dogs and First Person Shooter.
Okay.
So let's give a little quick rundown of Drake and Kendrick's beef real quick. We have the Control verse. From the Control verse, Drake goes on to an interview, say, who are you talking about? Are you making friendly competition or are we actually going at it? There's no in between for me. From that point on, Kendrick declares war. 2013 BET cypher happens. He tucks the sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. Verbatim. He tucks the sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes with the Control verse. Pushing forward, Drake drops 100 with The Game in the streets of Compton, California, Kendrick's hometown. Says in the song, I would have all of your fans if I didn't go pop and I stayed on some conscious shit.
Okay.
Verbatim, Drake said that. Obvious Kendrick Lamar diss. Okay. Kendrick Lamar comes back to Pimp a Butterfly, critically acclaimed. Finally, has the numbers to back up his claims of being the GOAT, the anointed one. Also says on King Kunta, but a rapper with a ghostwriter, what the fuck happened? I agree, Kendrick. I agree.
So that's a Drake line there. Okay. All right.
Who else would it be talking about?
There's plenty of rappers with ghostwriters.
Absolutely.
When I first heard that line, I thought he was just talking about the idea that rappers write that way. Because as somebody who writes their own shit, I agree with that philosophy.
Yeah.
So I thought he was talking about it could be any. If I thought it was one of those lines where it's like, if the shoe fits, wear it.
Yeah.
And
you know who shoe fitted?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Is it a Drake line or is it fit as a Drake line?
I think it's a double entendre.
Is that the cat? Continue. It's a double entendre. In what way?
In the fact that not only is it a direct shot at Drake, but it can also be interpreted as something that's generalized.
I see. Okay. So that happens, and then they're throwing shots back and forth.
Boom.
And
so
then,
after all right, the beef goes cold for a little bit. Beef goes a little cold. But then Metro and Drake get into it. And you know what? Metro's tired of Drake.
What?
Metro's tired of the bullshit.
You don't say. But, it's been a little while since the other stuff happened.
No, I mean, between the Metro and Drake stuff, this is only a year difference.
Oh, okay, that's not too long.
It's maybe 2 years. It's been very quiet, but not quiet behind the scenes. A man like Metro is plotting. A man like Metro has a man like The Weeknd in phone calls. A man like Future in phone calls, plotting the demise of Aubrey Graham. But we're not there yet. Let's get to First Person Shooter.
Okay.
Now, like I said, the beef went cold for a little bit. That's going to be important because even Kendrick brings this up in his diss tracks. Drake wants to make a song, First Person Shooter. We want to make the big three a real thing. We think it would be good for hip hop. We think, hey, let's get J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and Drake on one song finally.
That was what it was supposed to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
A phone call is made. Kendrick is furious. Kendrick is very upset. How dare you call me? And we just went back and forth like this. How dare you call me? And after you insinuated that we may have real problems. How dare you call me?
That's why he said in that song. That's why I'm surprised you reached out for that feature. Knowing we had stuff to speak about.
Yeah.
Or however he put it. But that's what he was referring to.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because that's the song. I didn't realize they reached out to him about that song.
Yep. First Person Shooter.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they don't get the Kendrick feature, and J. Cole takes that as a slight.
Okay.
J. Cole was like, okay, fuck it. The Spider-Man meme is me looking at Drake. Ain't nobody else's, included in the class that me and Drake are cemented in. I don't know about that other guy. That other guy.
Does he say that in the song?
Yeah. Spider-Man meme is me looking at Drake.
Oh, okay.
That's a bar.
All right.
There's a bunch of bars in there just alluding to those two being the...
But in that context, I guess that could be a shot at Kendrick. If you look at it like that, because to Kendrick, he would get it as that.
Yeah,
I was going to say to an audience, you would take it as I'm just... If it's a song between two rappers, and I'm saying we're the best rappers.
Yeah, we just enjoy each other's company. We just having a good time.
But if you're Kendrick and you just deny being on that song but then again, it's a little more nuanced. Okay, all right, I get it. That's a layered. There's layers to that,
Yeah.
but I get it. That makes sense. There's reasons both sides might be upset. There.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the most important thing. Like everybody got an angle.
Yeah.
Everybody got an angle here. These are just regular people we talking about. So yeah, from first person shooter and all the references to Kendrick is not furious. Kendrick is furious. And you know what makes for a great recipe? Furious Kendrick Lamar, Furious Future, Furious Metro Boomin. Like that. And we don't trust you.
I'm not trusting her right now. She looks stimulated. So for those that haven't seen, Margot once swatted Rocko. I'm just making sure she don't like
Straight
swat you, man.
Straight blab me, no.
Yeah, keep an eye on that cat, bro. She's
I was getting comfy,
she
but
was
I
looking
didn't know
at you while you were singing and scared me a little bit. She may have liked your singing, but no, she's good. She's good. All right. Sorry, folks. Sorry for the interruption.
Look,
It's got a little trauma. I saw my friend get attacked by my cat once.
me and Shorty got a little history. It's cool.
You can sing. Don't worry. Don't feel scared around her. She's all right. She was excited by you. She likes you.
So yeah.
All right. So, but yeah, they Metro Boomin makes it boom,
Yes.
and they all get together,
Man.
and that's what that was. It's the response to Drake and J. Cole.
Yeah.
He's saying, you know what? Fuck y'all. I'm the best.
Fuck
y'all.
sneak
There
dissing.
ain't no big three.
First person shooter. I hope they came with 3 switches. This fuck rap. This Melly Mel if I have to. I got 2 T's with me. I'm snatching chains and what do you say? Burning tattoos. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
First person shooter. I hope they came with 3 switches.
I didn't even realize that he said the Melly thing.
Oh,
which
yeah.
leads to the other Melly thing he said later.
Oh, yeah. YNW Melly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a whole other track. Wow.
Kendrick is genius. Oh, that boy bad.
Well, he's real good at
That
like
boy Michael Jackson bad.
one thing he did in all 3 of these songs.
Michael
like okay,
Jackson.
I don't want to lead too far ahead, but like opening a track with saying "I see dead people" as a reference to a diss you said in the previous track,
Sixth
where
Sense.
you only referred to the actor Haley Joel Osment, and you didn't even say his name right.
Directly,
you said
yeah.
Haley Joel Osteen as like a metaphor. Like that whole thing is so like layered.
He let you know. No, that's exactly what I meant.
Damn.
He sometimes you gotta double back and let him know. No, I meant that. I know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
But like it's genius rap shit because I don't want to get too deep into it, but like that shit I was talking to you about with like Buddhism. The
Yeah.
idea of Buddhism being this thing where I'm forcing you to think about it. Like rappers like that where they don't even you have to think about their raps to even get what he's doing. Like
Oh, yeah.
Kendrick really builds ideas within his stuff. Even in these diss songs, he's building concepts out of it where you
Like-
can listen to the track 10 times over and like be like,
Catch another
damn, there's a
thing.
whole other layer in this shit I didn't even notice.
No,
But all right. You
That's
ready?
how it is with the Michael Jackson motif that they've been running with.
In what way?
Like, what is it? Prince outlived Mike Jack.
Yes, you're
There you
right.
go.
You're right.
And then Drake said, "What's a Prince to the King? He a son, nigga. Michael Jackson's son is named Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Prince Jackson. Real talk.
All right. So like that.
Yeah, like that drops. Absolute bombshell of a song. Kendrick goes directly at Drake.
He didn't say his name.
No, he didn't, but it was pretty direct. First person
Yeah,
shooter.
it was. Yeah.
Hey, we know.
Well,
what
the
you're
real
talking about.
direct line is fuck the big three.
Big three is big.
It's just big me. Yeah.
I mean, but the first person shooter line sets up for that. Literally.
Yes, no, I agree.
Yeah.
But like just saying that, like you're thinking, even if you don't hear anything else, just that line, you're thinking, okay, who's the big three? Kendrick, maybe 2 other rappers. But he's saying he's the best rapper, and that like introduces you to what's so genius about that line is it's so blunt. That's what I'm saying. It's the most direct line in that song towards the beef.
I can see that.
So he says that, And then Drake's going to hear that. J. Cole, especially J. Cole, because J. Cole's the guy who said the big three thing.
Yeah.
He's the one who set that up, essentially.
Yeah.
Because J. Cole says big three, if I'm correct,
Yeah,
right?
he is the one who references the big three.
Yeah. And to J. Cole's credit, because in that song, big three is still giving credit to Kendrick.
Drake's entire verse on that song is about being bigger than Michael Jackson. That's literally what that entire song is for him. He's like, I'm one hit away from Michael Jackson. I'm about to get it. I'm that guy.
But he says that?
Yeah.
And so the Mike Jackson thing is set up from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Drake has always compared himself to Michael Jackson, though. He has a Michael Jackson feature on one of his albums.
Okay.
What else? He bought Michael Jackson's glove. He's obsessed with the concept.
Okay. So like that. And then after that, we get
7-minute drill.
7-minute drill.
Yeah. A couple of weeks, we wait a couple of weeks after like that, the world is in full disarray, and J. Cole out of nowhere drops Might Delete Later. A pretty nice project, and last song on the project would happen to be a 7-minute drill for Kendrick Lamar's Head Top. Boom, headshot, and he tried to take him out. It was a pretty nice rap song. Only problems with it, he was hitting a couple angles that wasn't exactly landing flush, things he wasn't really confident about. But overall, it was a pretty nice song.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like when I first heard that song, I hadn't heard J. Cole's album just yet. And now that I've even heard the album, I think it's my favorite song on the album. But I just feel like J. Cole, if you're going to aim at Kendrick, you got to have, ammunition. And he didn't really say much in that song at all, other than, things that aren't even really that true. Like, Kendrick's not that great of a musician. Like, oh, you don't have it like you used to. Like, I got it better than you. Like, I'm in my prime, you're not in your prime. Like, all this shit where it's like, when you really think about it, is he right?
No, I mean,
I don't know.
The prime thing maybe, but most of that stuff, yeah. He was
even that, though, really? I don't know.
I mean,
Kendrick's dropped a few amazing albums that he hasn't dropped in popularity at all. Kendrick.
Yeah, I'll say Mr. Morale wasn't Damn or To Pimp a Butterfly. And I love that album.
I agree with that. I would say it wasn't too much of a drop below Damn. I would say it's around the quality of Damn.
Yeah.
But I would say both of those weren't as good as Good Kid, Mad City or To Pimp a Butterfly. But those are both, you're comparing gold to gold.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. No, it's still, this is still, some of the top, all of these albums are probably, top 20.
Yeah.
Especially of, the era they came out in.
But
let alone on time.
I get that, though. And you could say that prime thing. But still, yeah. And also, the whole thing is spoiled by the retraction. The whole thing gets so spoiled by the retraction because then you listen to the song thinking this guy didn't even mean much of it because he took it back.
Yeah, no, at that point, it's completely useless.
Yeah.
It's completely useless.
So in retrospect, that song really didn't
3
serve
days
its purpose.
later.
I know.
3 days later, he comes out and apologizes.
7-minute drill, 3-day apology.
1 week later, it is deleted off stream.
7-day drill, 7-day deletion.
7-day deletion. All right. So once we get 7-minute drill, Drake hits the industry with a bombshell of an absolute direct attack and tells the entire industry that came at him on that Metro Boomin album, the likes of Rick Ross, the likes of A$AP Rocky, just taking little jabs. Anybody that has something to say to Aubrey, he has something to say back on push-ups, and let them know. For your label daddy, you're gonna drop and give me fucking 50. And that's the approach he takes. He takes, hey, I'm the big dog around here. You guys are small fish. I know your contracts. You don't even know my contract. Your label owner is going to tell you to drop and give him 50, and I'm going to go make $500 million for dropping one album.
How do you think people took that?
I don't think it was received as well as he thought it would be, just because of the fact nobody likes the guy that's in control of everything. Nobody likes a dictatorship, and from the angle he was taking, it seemed like that's what he was doing.
He's a Drake tater.
Yeah, he's a Drake tater.
Yeah.
if you look into some of the details of it, you know, with the whole Rick Ross thing, Drake has a piece of ownership of Rick Ross's distribution. So, you know, he sent a cease and desist to the song he was on with Ross and French Montana. I believe French Montana is also under a label that, you know, Drake is pretty high in. So, you know.
So he just sends these things out willy-nilly.
Yeah. You know, he's just like, hey, I'm not feeling it. We can just shut that down. I don't even need to talk to these guys. Like, you know, he's gotten to the point where he's like high and mighty about it seems, yeah. You know, being the guy that's like, hey, I'm going to go do what I want. You know, I live at the label. You guys barely keeping the lights on at home. Good luck.
How did you feel about 7 Minute Drill?
Or push-ups?
I'm sorry, push-ups, yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
You like it?
I like it.
I like it.
I might be a little bit of a, you know, as they say, what's the word? Hot word that everybody likes to use, sociopath.
I liked push-ups a decent amount. I thought there's actually that one part where he says, your last one break. That part's great. That part's like, it actually gets stuck in my head.
Fly,
It's just like, that's just a great flow. It's great. It's catchy.
Look, my favorite part was when he told Kendrick, like, hey, you know that deal that you in? You gonna give one to Taylor Swift. She gonna need a song, and you better make it witty. Oh yeah, Maroon 5 gonna need a verse.
Yeah.
You better make that one quickly. Yeah, and when your boss tell you to drop and give him 50.
Yeah. Yeah. But see,
so that was just kind of cold to me, you know, just from a boss talk type shit. If he wasn't like the evil mastermind manipulator behind the scenes of the rap industry, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Like if that was like honorable money that he was making, that would be a really cool bar.
I agree. Because I think that is a bar, but when you put it that way, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes from that guy, it's not so truthful.
Yeah, like, you know, perception is everything, and they looking at my guy sideways, like very sideways.
All right, so that song comes out, and then the public kind of, they like it, but like everybody's kind of waiting.
Everybody waiting for the bomb.
Everybody's thinking like, all right, maybe Kendrick's not even gonna respond at all.
That too.
Like, maybe this is just all gonna end here, and this will just be it. And Kendrick dropped like that is a little just, you know, a little thing to throw out there. Drake took it real serious, dropped push-ups, and that's where we'll stop. And then Euphoria comes out.
No.
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
AI song.
About 2 days later,
No.
Taylor Made Freestyle comes out, and Drake somehow Edo Tensei's reverse summons back to life Tupac and brings along Snoop D-O-double-G, you know, Snoop Dizzle for the ride.
Snoop Dogg.
And uses their likenesses and voices to diss the West Coast savior. Now this is a very important part of the war, because this right here, I believe, is what really, really ticked off Kendrick. The first song, like, okay, cool, he rapping, Drake's rapping, he want me to rap with him. But no, now you want to poke at things I love. You want to poke at Tupac, you know, a man I really admire, like truly admire. This is personal now. This is personal.
Okay. And so, and he kind of takes this angle of like these people from the West Coast saying, you don't even really represent the West Coast, Kendrick.
Yeah.
We don't even want you.
And you don't even want to drop. I also forgot to mention, in push-ups, he also said he stayed with a bodyguard like Whitney, that is the name of Kendrick's wife.
Yeah, that's where it all starts.
And that right there was the first like really personal shot.
Okay.
Like, you can't mention the man's wife, mother of his children.
Okay. So, yeah, and that's a whole story.
That was his first allusion to there being some, you know.
So, what
funny things going on in Kendrick's family life.
Rocko is referring to is, yes, some potential turmoil in Kendrick's life that is seemingly verifiable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks as if, there is a little evidence. I say, we'll get to the big Drake allegations.
Yes.
I'm sure everybody is already aware and ready to, go about that.
We're almost there.
Just like the Drake allegations, I think there's a similar amount of verifiable information when it comes to Kendrick's situation at home. Of him, he had a case in Vegas where he fought some woman, and I believe a man was with her as well. There are some accusations of domestic abuse. Like Drake, there are big accusations of pedophilic, actions and very predatory behavior.
Really?
Yeah, for Drake and for Kendrick, it's like a lot of domestic things, domestic abuse,
just tossing this ball back and forth. Bro.
Look, because I'm really trying to be impartial. I really don't want to like point one guy's stuff out and not point the other guy's stuff out.
I know. Yeah. Well, and so those things only really come around though. So it's the names and the family names that really force that to come out.
Yeah.
And so then and I actually think Drake kind of starts it with that line.
Yeah.
When you look at it that way, I mean, like Drake didn't have to say that about Kendrick's wife.
No.
He didn't have to say that. And when you say that, I mean, that allows Kendrick to just open up on that whole
I can say whatever I want. Yeah.
And that's, you just open yourself up to something you don't want.
So we get to what I believe to be the best diss song out of all of this, the best song out of all of this, an amazing 10 out of 10 beautiful song. That is Kendrick Lamar's Euphoria.
Yeah.
Your superpowers get neutralized. A nigga telling you your superpowers is getting neutralized right now is insane. He said, I'm kryptonite, nigga. Welcome to hell. Welcome to your one-way ticket to hell. It's gonna get bad.
Yeah. And so I think Kendrick really... So again, like to reset that stage real quick, everybody's waiting for Kendrick to drop, and then boom, it happens. And it's like, I think to me, I already knew that's what I thought it was going to be, is like, Kendrick is going to reframe this for what it really is, which is like, you have a guy who writes pop rap songs for the most part, and then you have Kendrick Lamar, which is like one of the most prolific hip artists we have of this generation. Like,
entrenched in the culture. Like,
entrenched in the culture.
Born in it.
Yeah, somebody who takes words and does things with words that most people forget is even possible. Like, it's like magic.
Aubrey, you were molded by the dark, simply molded. Me, I was born in it.
You're saying that would make Kendrick Lamar Bane and Drake Batman.
In some ways.
No, I can see that.
In some ways.
I can see that. So, yeah. I just feel like at that point, the angle Kendrick took. Yeah. So the only criticism people really had is that, well, Kendrick's saying things that people have already heard before. How do you feel about that?
Pointless to even bring that up. If he says it well, and is bringing it to light, it's as impactful as it ever was. You know what I mean? Bad things are bad things are bad things.
And that's what most of these disses are, is people bringing things to light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I completely hate the drama front of beef rap. Like, I don't want to hear that this nigga got a secret kid. I don't want to hear that this nigga beat his wife.
No.
I don't want to hear that this nigga stubbed his toe yesterday. I don't want to hear that this nigga chopped his left nut off. I just don't. I want to hear good songs. And that's what I truly value in it, which is why, spoiler alert, Kendrick is winning this beef for me.
Okay.
And I think it will end like that. I don't think at this point there's anything Aubrey can do to come back, although love you, Aubs, but I don't think there's anything he can do to come back.
All right. But and so
this Euphoria song.
Euphoria is followed right back up with another track, 616 in LA.
616 in LA, which Drake did tell Kendrick, I'm gonna need a quintuple entendre if you plan on coming at me. So you know what I did? I'm gonna make a quintuple entendre in the fucking title, you hoe ass nigga.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that's what that was.
Yeah. Okay. So 616 stands for
Father's
multiple
Day,
things. It's
right?
Father's Day in Canada. It is the day Nicole Simpson Brown died. It is the day OJ was arrested.
Wow.
And you know, the glove.
Huh.
It is, what else? There are Bible verses related to it. Let me see if I can find these live, actually.
Okay.
I'm sure I can. Alright. Yeah, but Drake asked Kendrick for this quintuple entendre, and he absolutely delivered. Like, I'm going to give you something that people can keep finding and keep finding and keep finding meaning behind. Okay. So, Corinthians 6:16 in the Bible says, "Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? For two, saith he, shall be one flesh."
Okay.
Saying that the man who sleeps with a whore will become that of the whore. And the man who is one body with Jesus or God, a man who is one with God, will become that of God.
Okay.
You know,
You become what you do.
so you know that very much plays into Kendrick's whole morality argument and all of this.
Okay. All right. And so Kendrick's saying all that, Drake's saying all this, and at this point, Kendrick's winning because we got
Euphoria is just like an amazing song, a three-parter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hits insane. The beat in the middle is just like, it's almost as good as the Chicago dogs that we ate earlier.
I mean, I would really say that the way that Kendrick came back shows, again, the versatility of somebody like Kendrick. Like, Kendrick's such a versatile artist. And the way that, like, that beat switch from the first beat, like, the second beat to the third beat. Yeah. It's
He
just,
gave it to you medium. He gave it to you hard.
Yeah.
He gave you every stroke he could possibly give.
and there's so many just single lines in there that are so solid on their own.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's not just like a song where it's like one line really sticks out. It's like he said so many things all wrapped into one.
We've gotten so much heat. I can't even like reference back to like the specific bars in Euphoria right now.
Yeah.
But like, there's some great ones in there.
Yeah, I like the Daft Punk one.
Oh yeah,
That one sticks out to me.
Oh fuck it,
Headshot of the year, you
headshot.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you better walk around like you Daft Punk. Remember, a Top Dog. Who the fuck they think they playing with? Hey, that nigga was like crazy. 616 in LA.
Yes.
Which, like I said, we've gotten so many heaters. This one is
No.
kind of under the radar from me. I don't have too much to say as far as the lyrics. Obviously,
It's
Kendrick was
solid.
going in.
It's a very solid song.
Is this the first one where he referenced the kids or?
No, I don't think so, but it's the one where he says something about there's somebody in your camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You ever thought somebody at OVO was working for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Now that was crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
And then because Family Matters drops in the next couple of nights by Drake.
Okay.
Drake finally releases the big bomb, the red button that he's been alluding to for so long. Let's just give a little preface. For those, we didn't bring this up during the Fat D segment, but
That Fat D.
Fat D Deluxe Scary Hours 3 was,
title.
it featured a song called Red Button, where Drake alluded that given if war were to ever break out in these hip-hop streets, such as how we're living in today, he had the red button. He could end everything. So, you know, it finally became red button time. Family Matters comes out. Drake supposedly buys the Good Kid, Mad City van, drives it to Toronto, crushes it. You know, raps about.
No, that wasn't from all I've seen. That wasn't the real van. I see like a bunch of people showing pictures, comparing them, and I don't think it was the same van.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, like I keep seeing stuff on Facebook comparing them.
Look, don't break K-Fob.
Like, because it was like, even,
Don't break K-Fob.
All right, we'll keep going with it.
It probably ain't the real one though.
Well, it was just like they were comparing the lines on the door, like under the bottom of the door, and the line on the one in the Mad City one, I think it was thicker.
Oh, it's probably like an older model.
Maybe the car got updated, but
that's what I was thinking. He probably found a newer model,
Yeah.
and but it's like the same color. He was like,
because Drake would have had to come with receipts, like to prove it was a real van.
Yeah,
you'd have to show a VIN number.
He really bought Pharrell whole jewelry collection.
Did he really?
Yeah. Then he melted it down. That's what the song "Meltdown" on Travis Scott album is about.
Melting jewelry.
Yeah, melting down Pharrell's jewelry collection. Because he has beef with Pharrell because everybody hates Pusha T and anybody associated with him.
I mean, even me, dude. Everybody.
Damn.
No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to
Pusha
say,
T, please, if you do want to do a song with me.
yeah, I don't want no beef. I don't want no beef, Pusha. Okay, actually, fuck you, nigga.
Oh.
Bitch ass nigga.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rocko says that, but I don't say that.
Fuck Pusha T, bitch ass.
Why do you say that, man?
Cause he a hoe.
Oh.
He a hoe. He ain't grinding for real.
While we're talking about these diss raps, why don't we, before you get too far into Push,
Yeah,
if you're listening, diss Rocko back.
Yeah, hoe ass nigga.
Anyway.
Yeah, but the family matters. He says a lot of things, your kid's not yours, Dave, free fucking your wife. Well, I don't think he has said Dave free name yet, but he was like, somebody fucking your wife. Why you living in New York? Fucking the Weeknd's manager does coke and like spends all his money on men. They might be gay. Kendrick is short. Size 7 men's. Yeah. A lot of crazy shit. Oh yeah, I think he alleged he was beating his wife in this one too. And then
he did. Yeah, that was where it started. Yeah.
Kendrick then drops literally the Joker's theme song, the most maniacal song in hip hop history, probably the most insane thing ever put to beat.
The fastest rap diss track response ever.
Yeah, literally within 20 minutes probably.
I thought it was 3 hours. Yeah, at least it might be 20 minutes.
It might, because I was drunk that night. I remember it was complete chaos in the streets.
That's crazy.
I was drunk that night. But yeah, we get Meet the Grams, which is, this is a lifelong battle with yourself. What can I say? Like, that line encapsulate everything he says so well.
Yeah.
If everything he alleges is true, is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard about a celebrity. It is absolute insanity put to a beat to absolutely dissect the flaws of a man that way. Live and direct in 4K for everybody to see.
Well, he's basically saying to Drake, like, your problem isn't even me, it's you.
Yeah. It's not even you. This goes back further than you, and you're not even smart enough to understand that. Yeah. I'm trying to teach your son. I'm teaching your son something.
Yeah, you're right.
To not fall into the same patterns you fell into.
Yeah.
Like that again, the most maniacal, deranged thing ever put to a beat.
But in a way, it was so moral filled and so full of good values.
Yeah. No,
so he's not saying anything that's morally bad.
Oh yeah, no, that song is stand up as fuck. Like everything he said was real nigga shit.
Okay, so he drops that, and then after that, oh, excuse me, sorry about that.
Oh no,
after that we get a little bit of a pause, and then it wasn't that long of a silence.
Right after Family Matters, we got the Buried Alive Part 2.
Okay, and that one I don't really know about. So what was that?
That was a remix to, referencing back to earlier in the pod, that is a remix to Drake's Buried Alive, featuring Kendrick Lamar off the Take Care album where this all began.
Okay. And who's the remix?
Drake.
Just Drake?
Yeah, he wasn't saying nothing too crazy. He was just calling Kendrick a hoe.
All right, Kendrick, you a hoe.
Yeah, you a hoe ass nigga. You ain't no shit.
That's a pretty solid.
I didn't say that. I love you, Kendrick. I didn't say that.
That's what Drake said.
Yeah.
And so then, right after all that, we get another Kendrick song.
An absolute banger.
Just the song probably the fatality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stone in the head from David.
Nobody saw it coming.
Again, the stone to the head from David to Goliath. This was the knockout blow that the world wanted to see, but didn't expect to see. Not like us.
Yeah.
What? Dot fuck 'em up. Certified lover boy, certified. Yeah.
Imagine like the whole crowd just shouts to that for you.
They will.
They will.
They will.
They already are.
The next Kendrick concert,
Yeah.
that shit gonna get hectic.
So, like, yeah. Yeah. It's just a powerful song in general. And, like, that's really, like, where we are, where we sit right here, right now. This is where everything ends, right?
The Hard Part 6.
Oh, I forget. The Hard Part 6 is where we're at now. Okay. So...
But that
really was like the big punch, and like, okay, so we'll just move on to the Hard Part 6 right there then.
That was knocking the bully down.
Yeah.
And then this was the bully getting back up and saying, you know what, I got a gun in my backpack.
Yeah. But he's flashing the gun around. He's not shooting.
He ain't shooting nobody.
Definitely not shooting. He's letting you know that he can shoot.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, after Summer Smash, Not Like Us, we get to the Hard Part 6 where Drake essentially says, bro, I'm not a pedo. You can't prove it. Fuck you.
I knew you were going to call me that.
Yeah, you fucking weirdo. We playing in a mole.
I got you to say that.
And I'm going to call the mole a weirdo because that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's some very suspicious lines in there from Drake that makes you think, hey, he probably is just taking the best angle for him.
Yeah.
Saying it was a mole and not, like, actually having set the evidence. But there are also things that show, like, the, I do understand the whole law behind having prescriptions and stuff on streaming. But even then, that whole track is just not getting publicized like that for as good as it is.
Yeah.
Like how Not Like Us is, like, the #1 song in the country over like that now.
Right.
Meet the Grams, for as good as it is, isn't getting that same run. I think for that exact reason, just because the label isn't confident, or it could be.
They're just different types of songs too, though.
That too. Yeah. It's not very marketable. Meet the Grams isn't a very marketable.
Yeah, like
tempo,
Not Like Us, I would expect to go right to the top.
Tempo wise, type.
Well, it's just
wise.
even the tone of the song.
Yeah, the tone.
It's kind of like Kendrick's You.
Yeah,
You.
Which is one of my favorite songs.
But
ever.
it's not a radio popular song. You would never expect.
You can't just
super
have
popular.
Imagine the intro of that song playing on the radio. People
just driving on the highway. What the fuck?
No, somebody that's like falling asleep in their truck, just like, and I just get to playing. Yeah, they might be necessary play.
No, I might swerve a car right off the road. Go
I can see it. I can see it.
But that's like one of those signs on the side of the road that look like a giant plane heading towards you or something.
Man, what the?
They make those. Yeah. Okay, so then the Hard Part 6, and that's like it's a
Drake's
solid
grand
response.
defense.
Drake's grand defense. Now, do you think it's a good enough defense?
For me personally, I've always looked at the drama of this as all unfounded. Yes, Drake has very weird videos, very weird instances of like him texting Millie Bobby, but at the same time, he was an executive producer for Netflix. Obviously, he would be in contact with one of their top actors, in my opinion. Be it weird or not, I think overall, honestly, child acting is weird, but that's a whole like child celebrityism is a whole different beast to get into. But I think that as a whole is weird. You get into the whole. I think the most damning piece of evidence for me personally is the 17-year-old on stage. That just was a bad look. I don't think like we discussed on the train earlier. I don't think you should just be filling up your fans like that. Like, that's just weird.
Well, yeah. So it's the feeling of the fans that's the weird part. Not even the fact that you asked. I mean, the fact that you asked the AJ afterwards is bad. But the fact that you're feeling up your fans in general is a little bit odd. Right. But, shout out Chris Brown.
Shout out Chris Breezy, lap dance king. Hey, no Diddy, though. Hey. But I'm telling you, like, I done heard stories about he had VIP passes. These girls was going back there getting busy. Just in Flint the other night, an R&B singer came through. They had a whole bed in the loft.
Really?
They brought a bed into the loft so, like, these females could get down and dirty.
That's a little bit odd.
It is. No, look, and amid all this Drake stuff, Flint never changes.
Yeah.
Flint never changes. I love my city.
Yeah. Yeah. People change, but war never changes.
War never changes.
Times change, war never changes.
That sounds like some Metal Gear Solid quote shit.
And that's a good way for us to end this little recap, is that folks, war war never changes, and that's what you can observe with this war between Drake and Kendrick. Like, how would you wrap up your thoughts on it? Like, we just recapped it for the people, but how would you wrap up, like, from outside looking in? Like, obviously, you've been telling me that the way you like to look at it is, like, you're a guy you want to stay unbiased. Yeah. You like Drake, but you also love Kendrick. Right? Yeah. We've been saying with each other, because I feel this way too, very strongly, that people aren't giving Drake enough credit. Yeah. That Drake just automatically loses no matter what he says. And Drake's even alluded to this, and I think, like, you gotta understand, Kendrick's so good that people just, it's almost like he's earned that street cred, but at the same time, you can't just count Drake out automatically. Because Drake's putting up a good fight.
Bro's an all-time artist. You know, people are counting him out just because his run has been so great for so long.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you've been running the game. You've been on top. Like, you know, we hear you all the time. We're tired of hearing you and your story specifically. Like, and I think that's speaking more than anything, any of the music, any of the drama. There's honestly the most disgusting thing out of this for me, honestly, and I'm glad I get to bring this up, is the fake outrage.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely disgusting. Like, there are people really out there, you know, getting domestically abused, getting, you know, sexually assaulted by adults, children out there, and people, you know, nothing gets done about it. But, you know, let some celebrities have that kind of outrage going on, and, you know, it's frontline news.
And it's not real.
Yeah, and it's not real. People don't really care. People don't really care about
what shows they don't really care?
It's just the fact that it only, you know, there's only really activism behind it. This kind of vitriol behind it when it's a celebrity.
Yeah, and what do they actually do to change it too? Yeah. Like, what do they actually talk about?
And it's not even, honestly, it's not even that, because people do genuinely get mad about it. It's just that, you know what I'm saying, it seems like just for people to not really be able to have that much input on it.
Yeah.
They for people to not really have, or for people to really have this much input on it, I forgot where I was going. Damn.
And folks, with that, thank you for being here.
I was getting deep. I was cooking.
No, but for real, I mean, I do agree that, like, the fake hatred thing, it's just, it's not fair, because people just like that in general about everything. Yeah. And it's you gotta be able to have some nuance in your opinion. You gotta be able to look at Drake and say, like, yeah, even though I don't like Drake's style, I think that he could have some stuff to say against a guy like Kendrick.
And I think, this is a great place to end it. Wrapping up what I was just saying earlier, harkening back on what you said to originally, you know, lead us into the outro to this. Yeah. War never changes, and with war comes what? Comes propaganda.
Yes.
You know, misinformation from both sides. I think people are trying to make, you know, just like a dispute with your baby mama. Y'all gonna make each other look as bad as possible to get what you need out of the situation. So, you know, the way I look at it is that these are just two random niggas arguing on the internet. And so I don't think anybody should have a hat in the race, and we should just enjoy the show.
Thank you for being here, folks.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, Rocko. We've been having a great time in Chicago. Yeah. Maybe you guys will hear about it real soon.
You know?
All right. Ruse Radio. I'm trying to see if I can do it quiet. It's been a minute since I've done this, and I'm always doing it loud, you know what I mean? Ruse Radio. Hold on. I need to do it. Oh, you want to go for it? Do it for me. Do it for me on this special occasion.
Ruse Radio.
Clocking out.
You don't really want to dream forever. You don't really want to dream forever. No, you don't really want to dream forever. You don't really want to dream forever. Yo, so many times that I've been stuck inside my mind like